Hi everyone, welcome to the Information Security Training and Awareness Program presented by Alf Milliken. I was looking for a suitable training and awareness program and found there appears to be a lot of training resources available, but technical jargon and IT language limit them to a specific audience. This program comprises of modules that are designed to cut through the jargon and deliver training to a non-technical audience on how to maintain a secure computing environment for themselves and the organization they work for. The modules target the main areas where users are exposed to risk and explain what the user needs to be aware of and what action to take to protect themselves and the organization. So firstly, a bit about myself. My IT career path has been widespread and spans from the UK to where I live now in Australia. My passion is for networking and security, and over the past 20 years I've worked in multinational business and educational organisations and been involved in a broad scope of IT projects. You just have to listen to the news to hear regular stories about people who have been scammed or companies that have had their systems compromised. The need to make every person in the organisation aware of their part in the overall security process is now probably greater than ever before. No one in the organisation, whatever the role they play, is exempt from an information security risk. So let's start by looking at an introduction to the subject of information security covered in this module. Let's start by introducing the subject of information security and awareness. There are three areas we'll be looking at. Controlling confidentiality, that's who can view, change and delete the data. Maintaining integrity, that's making sure the data is correct and accurate. And finally, maintaining availability, that's having a computer system that is available to use when required. The Oxford Dictionary defines security as a state of being free from danger or threat. To achieve this, we must be aware of the danger or threat that we are exposed to and what to do to free ourselves from it. An organisation needs to be an environment where awareness and understanding is conducive to bringing about a secure computer system. You may ask, who is responsible for information security? To be effective, it must be a shared responsibility. The IT department does have a role to play, but the person actually working on the computer has the power to allow or deny actions at a point in time, and could determine the success or failure of an attack. For example, clicking on a link or not. Your perception of information security may determine how you deal with it. For example, some people think that maintaining information security is beyond their ability, causing them to ignore it altogether, while others think that they don't have to because someone else is actually managing it. You can easily see that both these perceptions leave a gap for a potential attack to slip through the cracks and not get picked up. Often people ignore a risk because they don't feel they have the ability to deal with it. A bit like the ostrich burying its head in the sand when danger approaches. Let's face it, it's not going to make the danger go away. If this is your perception of how to handle an information security threat, you may be surprised to find out how applying some basic principles can make you an effective participant in the overall security process. So maybe your perception is that there are people working behind the scenes with mystical powers that protect me, whatever I click on, so I don't have to worry about it, they'll handle it. It might be easier to think of it like this. There are rules and laws to protect me when I'm driving on the freeway, but I am the one driving the car, and my actions will make the difference to everyone's safety on the freeway. You may be the first point of connection to a threat, like reacting to a malicious email message or clicking on a link that will ultimately compromise the system. So in summary, to achieve a secure IT environment, every user has to be an active participant in the process. But to be an active participant, it is necessary to know what to be aware of and how to react to it. The following modules will empower users to make informed decisions when faced with potential information security risks. This is the first module, which introduces the subject and explains why it's important. The second module is about password security and looks at why we have passwords, common mistakes that are made, and finally looks at strategies to help us make a memorable password. The third module looks at data security and why it's important, and looks at the issues associated with storing data and how to avoid potential data loss. The fourth module is about device security and looks at why it's important and looks at the key points to help us maintain device security. The fifth module looks at network security, what it is and what to consider before connecting to a network. The sixth module looks at digital footprint, what it is and how it can be used to gain access to data and services. The seventh module looks at external attacks, what they are and how to recognize them and how to react when they happen. The eighth module looks at social engineering, what it is, and how it can be used to manipulate an employee into opening up access to a system. And now for a bit of fun. This video demonstrates social engineering and how the user appears to be convinced that the communication has come from a trusted source.
People who call a desk phone in the middle of the day are scammers.
Isn't it kind of your job to answer calls?
You're fine, I'll prove it to you. Sid Gupta speaking.
Hello, Mr. Gupta. I'm contacting you on behalf of WOKE, the World Organization for Cybersecurity.
Okay, woke. You were right. It was a scam.
We'd like to present you with the Cyber Vigilance and Security Award.
This sounds important.
This is to recognize you for your efforts to protect your company's networks from malicious hackers, ransomware, and poor data handling.
Really? See, finally someone's noticing all the work I'm doing around here.
Are you sure that's a real organization?
I run a successful online security influencer blog. People call all the time.
Okay.
Mr. Gupta?
Yes, I'm here. And I'm honored.
Fantastic. Well, we just need the spelling of your first and last name for the engraving, home mailing address where we can send you your plaque, and a credit card number for shipping.
Okay. Why would they ask for shipping?
One moment, please. I just can't give my information to anyone, you understand, right?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah, good. Perfect. So it's Sid, S-I-D, yep. Yeah, and the card number is 4222. Yep. No, thank you. Okay, thanks, bye-bye. So as I was saying, you don't want to give your information to just anyone who calls.
Yeah.
I understand that many presentations may be tedious and retaining the material can be a challenge. So I've made it easier by highlighting the key points that you should take away with you and put into action as you leave this presentation. Thank you for taking the time to watch this presentation. You can now complete the quiz relating to this module and then go on to Module 1 to learn about password security.